Hi, and you are?
Todd Johnson, otherwise known as T-Bone on the Playa.
Where are we at here?
We're on the Playa at 6 and H this year,
And what's
and
behind you?
standing behind me is a creation that is absolutely one of the favorite things that I've wanted to do for years, and it's called Playa Artifacts Museum.
Let's go inside. Check it out. If you wouldn't mind showing me some of your favorites and some of the stories.
There's lots of favorites here. One of the most favorites is not necessarily about swag, but the fact that I was able to recover a scrapbook from 25 years ago. And we have a few displays here of that scrapbook because we want to tell a history of the small art of the Playa. And we have displays here of all the different art that's been done throughout the years.
Okay. Which one should we start with?
Well, let's start with how it all sort of started, and that would be this one here. My whole story is that I first came out here in 2007, and we didn't really know what to do or what to expect, and came back in '08 and had nothing to do with swag pretty much, but I found out that a lot of people like to do gifting out here.
And what's swag?
Swag is something we all get. So it's kind of a fun little acronym, and I've enjoyed doing it, collecting it. People have been making things, but not as much as they do now. I mean, it's really exploded, the small art community, because really the whole thing about this is Burning Man is really fine-tuned to promote the large art out on the Playa. And that large art, but not everybody has the ability, the time, the effort, the money in order to promote big art, and yet a lot of people want to do the small art. And
now, while you continue talking, I'm going to get some shots.
Yeah, okay.
Keep talking.
And so, we started collecting art. We started making art. Okay, so I'm a retired engineer,
You are.
and from that point, I started. I got to work out here on a laser engraver sent out here from MIT, and they had a fab lab. And I played in my very first year out here in 2007 for 2 days, played on CNC machines and stuff like that. And based on that, I kind of fell in love with a new hobby, if you will. And so I started making things, and those things I started making for.
I'm going to get on this side of you.
Yeah. I started making. I'm going to back you up here a little bit because this is a little bit of my art that I make for other people over about 5 or 6 or 10 years. And all these are like wood pendants or plastic pendants or something, because that's what I can do with my laser engraver. And people learned about me and wanted me to make things for them. And so I've been doing that for many, many years. Well, at that point, I put up all of this. And so I put up a display at Center Camp years ago. And that display is hanging this year, actually, at Center Camp. And from there was this lovely lady called Karen Christians. And I ran into her at Center Camp in 2014. And she says, I am writing a book about the small art and the swag of Burning Man, and I'd like you to be one of the 40 makers that I'm featuring inside that book. And I was flabbergasted. I was like, really? I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's like fate should have it or something. So I went down in early 2015 and we did a whole spread layout of taking photographs and everything. And so they actually were able to publish the book and successfully do a Kickstarter on it. And I have 4 pages inside this book that illustrate my art. So, and I can show that to you later. But in any case, from there, I met another wonderful lady that works at the Burning Man organization. Her name is Lady B, otherwise known as Karen Christians. And she, because of what we did at that museum, in that book, she started seeking and getting displays put in different museums across the country. Oakland Museum, Bellevue in Washington. Um, there's one up in Massachusetts. There's one in Vacaville. I mean, all over the place. But the best one, at the pinnacle of all of this, was the fact that in 2018, there was a huge exhibit back in Washington, D.C., in the Renwick Smithsonian. And I actually was able to get my art into the Renwick Smithsonian. And I was just, I couldn't believe it. So we all flew back there. And at that point, we became docents. I mean, opening day, I was a docent and explaining all this to the visitors coming in for that
kind
opening
of as
day.
you're doing now.
Basically, as what I'm doing now. And after that, it just kept getting better and better and better, because this has grown like you wouldn't believe. And that's all because we got published in a book in 2015.
Tell me, what type of people do this art, and why do they do it?
Well, and that's the whole point of why I do what I do. I have a mission statement, and not everybody has the time, energy, or money to do the large art, but everybody wants to have small art, and they want to be able to make patches or make stickers or make scarves or make medallions, or all that kind of things that over the years. And they've been doing it's doing more and more and more, because people can afford more and more things being made, and they can't really afford the large stuff, but this works out, and then they use it to gift, because the second principle of Burning Man is gifting. And in any case, from there, we've just progressed. And so after 2018 and being at the Smithsonian, and with Burning Man not really having a big venue out here for small art, I decided to create a museum, or a place, a repository, if you will, that would be a place where people from anywhere on the Playa can donate their art to this museum, and I try my best to put it on display, and show everybody else. They get to show their work to the rest of the people in Burning Man. So that's the fun part about that is, so I kind of base things on what years they were made or whatever, and so this whole thing has grown and grown and grown, and now I know people all over the Playa, all over the world. And I talk with people all over the Playa and all over the world all year long. And it's just a lot of fun, because in reality, the swag is not about the swag. The swag is about the friendship we make, and the friends we make, and the people we meet, and the people we can help on this world. And so that's kind of where I have created this type of venue, if you will, for people to be able to display their art, because no one else is really doing it. So,
you want to show me some of your favorites?
Some of my favorites are, number one would be this panel right here, which is actually this panel right here is there's everybody that's in the Jewelry of Burning Man book that was published in 2015 is. Most of them have pieces in this panel. So I'm trying to represent everybody that have been artists in the book, and to show the kinds of art that was published in the book. And out of that came another gentleman his name is Entomo, and otherwise known as Jonathan West. He lives in Boise, Idaho, and we have some of his work on display here. He has a vertical CNC milling machine in his garage.
Which is his?
Which is this wood board here with all of the brass pendants. And he gave me this board with everything that he made from 2019. And that board is front and back. And these were all the commission jobs that he helped people make their pendants and their swag from camps all over the Playa.
What were you saying?
So in 2019, a gentleman named Entomo, otherwise known as Jonathan West, and he's one of the artists in the Jewelry of Burning Man book. He came down and camped with us and made up this board to forever be displayed into the museum here. And he makes these brass pendants from orders that he gets. People contract with him to make these for gifts for all these different camps throughout the Playa. This alone is just his orders from 2019. He's been a great friend. He actually worked for Hewlett Packard for 20 years, and I worked for Hewlett Packard for 30 years, and so we developed a great friend and a great bond, and I really appreciate everything he does. His art is very well known all over the Playa, so people still make he still makes things for every year for burners in different camps everywhere. Now, one of the things that I wanted to bring a light to, some of my more favorite ones, this particular one here is, and I might have mentioned it already, is examples of all the artists that are in this book that kind of started it all, called Jewelry of Burning Man. And it's still available to this day from KarenChristians.com and also on Amazon. So it's been a wonderful way to bring people together for a common goal and a common, it's a sub-community of Burning Man, basically. That's...
Where do you keep all this?
Most of these displays literally live in the back of my truck. Which they stack real easy, and I can keep 100 displays in the truck actually all winter long, and they stack real in a nice little pile about like 2 feet by 3 feet, and about 3 feet high. I have everything set up so it folds down very compactly. Then one of my more favorite persons, and we have a website that he maintains. His name is Paul DeLanthier, and these were pendants that he made back in 2017, 2018, and 2019. And these are all resin cast, and they're absolutely stunning, and they're absolutely unique. Paul DeLanthier has been a good friend of mine, and he has since gone on to create a website called playamakers.com. And it's online as we speak. We have well over 4,000 images on the website at this point, and we're always adding images all the time. And then we try to identify where the pendants came and who made them and when they made them and all that kind of particulars. So all this in this display is resin cast, but it's a very special process that he developed years ago. And it's just absolutely stunning, his work. Okay.
You're a tired man.
I've been working all day. I mean, since 10 o'clock. We never stopped. I mean, it never stopped. I have other displays I've put together in the past. This one here came together in 2017. This is a sampling of medallions and things from 2017 and before. And that has been, I used to have this, well, this is always hung here, but I have other ones that have hung at Center Camp as well.
And you have more than just this, huh?
Oh, I have so much that I can't get it all in displays yet, but I'm trying. So it's pretty tough. Some of my other favorites is over here is Maya Way, and I was honored to be asked to work with Crimson Rose, and about 2 months ago we put together displays that are now in the Reno airport this year for 2024, and I was able to get Maya Way's patches on display in the Reno airport. That was really a cool thing that we could do. And then right next to us is another one of my favorites. They have a ski ramp down at Center Camp, and it's called the Black Rock City Snow Club. And these are many of the swag pieces that they gave out in years past.
So when people are giving it, it's not, they don't pay for it, it's just gifting, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's very much gifting, and that's what I give out, swag all week long, and then they give me swag to go into the museum so that I can eventually get it onto display boards, because my goal is to really honor them and respect them for their art. This is a small art kind of idea here. So, and people love to see their work on display.
I know out in the Playa, the big things can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
How much does these cost?
Well, people can have patches or stickers or something made for as little as $50. And so it's very affordable for these people because and then they have something to gift out. And of course, gifting is one of the primary principles of Burning Man. And so people are constantly giving back and forth, and that's the fun thing about all that kind of stuff. We get together for things like swag swaps, okay? Something we all get, a swap, and we just go over and we're just exchanging our gifts for somebody else's gifts, and anything that I get in I put into the museum. Or I try to get put into the museum. I mean, it's a lot of work following up on this stuff. So what we have here is only about 1/4 of what I actually have to be able to put into displays, which will eventually get there. But the best place is playamakers.com, because I spent a week up there a year ago, and we took over 4,000 images of all the swag, people's swag, so that we can honor those people and embellish those people and help them, get recognition, a little bit of recognition. I got blessed being in museums and in a book and stuff like that, and my goal as a mission is to try and help others do the same. So I want to bring attention to one other piece over here. I just got this about 3 days ago, and this gentleman it's Larry's Ladder. This is an incredible piece of art. Here's 10 years of wire that's been recovered from the base of the Burning Man the day after the man burns.
Wow.
And he's taken little tiny pieces of copper wire and created what's called Larry's Ladder. And it's just an incredible piece of jewelry.
After Larry Harvey?
I think so. This is, sterling silver, and it was just created this year. And the gentleman's name is Matt, and at chatbrothers.com, and I really enjoyed. He has a big, huge display at Center Camp, and I think that I've known about him for a while, but we finally got a small display down here of his art as well.
What do you like about Burning Man Festival?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've seen a lot out there, but of course it changes every year. Part of my story is that I had this friend that says, I want to take you to Burning Man because my son goes to Burning Man for 20 years and I don't know how to camp, and you're a Boy Scout and you know how to camp. And I said, well, camping's a no-brainer. I don't care about that. So I brought him out in 2007, and at that point, he's never been back. And I've been back ever since because I kind of fell in love with this place, and it was something that I could do things for other people. So every Burning Man experience by every individual out here is a unique experience unto themselves. And that being said, people ask me, well, what's Burning Man like? And I says, I can't tell you because it's going to be your experience. So for me, it's helping other people and being able to provide a place for other people to display their art. So
Right. Wonderful museum you have here. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I'd like to show off Suzanne. And this is her cape of patches. And I also want to, this is something we just hung up today, and it's just an amazing accomplishment, and it's a work in progress as well. Being that I have a laser engraver, I also want to bring attention to the little Burning Man model out here that I created. And he's 18 inches tall, and I don't make very many of them, but that is my design. You know, well, it's a basic design, but with artist creativity. So he's kind of a fun little guy to do, and I also want to bring attention to Lisa Guerrero, and she has these wonderful art pieces. I'm going to hang it. This is glass, solid glass, that she creates and puts them in that V shape, and she gifts. That's her gifting that she hands out. So and then people do tie dye, and people do. I mean, there's just so many different things out here. I can show you as well. I mean, another gentleman I love dearly, his name is Howard Davis, and he lives back in Massachusetts, and he drives a telephone car out here every other year. So this is one of his metal pieces that he has cut out, and I just got this the other day. This is my vest that I wear out occasionally. That the very special pieces that are memorable to me, and these pieces represent people that have created a bonding. I've created a bond with them, and so I wear a lot of their art in memory of things they do. And then this is something that we created last year. It's called the Rising Phoenix version 2. We have a version 1, both of those, all that's out at the airport right now, but version 2, there's 10 different pieces to this set. And we had a lot of fun being able to create this and share this with all the burners out here. So and this year is this year's set, tessellated Burning Man heads, and it's an amazing set of 9 what I call pendants. So you can wear them as a pin, or you can wear them as a pendant.
Very nice.
So
well, I should let you get back to all your organization and everything.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, there's a lot more to cover, but we can do another session later.
And one more time, you are, and what's the name of this place?
The name of the place is Playa Artifacts Museum, otherwise known as PAM for short. And my name's Todd Johnson, otherwise known, Playa name is TBone. And Playa names, as you know, have to be given to you by other people. And one of the matriarchs to this camp, her name, great person, Farrell Hollowell. And that person is, she gave me my name, my Playa name, back in 2010.
Nice. And what camp are you in?
I'm actually in Laugh Camp. We kind of call it Laugh Camp, but it kind of has a little body meaning, means lazy ass fuckers. And so I've been with them since 2010. And we got, for the first time ever, we got a corner spot because the Burning Man organization really likes us to be able to, they like what we're doing, although they don't contribute anything to helping us other than giving us a pretty good spot.
Well, it's a wonderful place. I'm a first-time member of Laugh Camp. I love it. You guys are great.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Good work,
Take care. Thank you for coming and visiting us. We really appreciate you, Larry.
I'll be right back.
So officially we're closed at 4 o'clock.
Gotcha.
But that's okay. I'm not gonna come in and walk around. If I'm here, it's open.
Good to
And
hear.
I get all these weird things. People leave stuff all the time, but no, we're doing a video shoot
Oh, cool.
that's gonna go on YouTube. He's gonna edit it and everything.
Very
Larry, I feel so blessed to have Larry as a camp member this year, and we're gonna be talking about putting together a video that will be able to be shared on YouTube. So.
Nice.